cranes are great, aren't they? So tall. A lot of the time your eyes cancel them out. They just sort of blend into the skyline, but if you stop and look at them, they're actually quite interesting. A lot of the time, more interesting than the buildings themselves. I just got one question, you know. Like, how do they get there?
Because they're huge, aren't they, cranes? Like, how do they move them to a new building site when they've finished building what they need to? Like, you can't just stick a crane on the back of a lorry stood up, then drive it around, because every time you go around a corner, that big sticky out bit, take down a few high-rise buildings, wouldn't it?
The only thing I can think of is that the tower must be made up of sections, and then when it's time to take it down, you just take sections off from top to bottom and put it in the back of a lorry, then reassemble it at the new building site like a big set of Meccano.
There we go, that's how they must do it. But is it? Because how are you going to construct something as tall as a crane? Or you go on any building site, the crane will always be the tallest structure there. How are you going to put something like that up? You're the project manager, we've got this crane arrived, disassembled on a lorry, and I've come to you and I said, right, we just need to get this crane put up now. So just let us know what you need to get it done. Just have a think about it now. Just what would you need to put the crane up? I tell you what, you'd need another crane, wouldn't you, to put the crane up? Well, that's not a problem, is it? We'll just get another crane in to be able to put this, because you need the crane to assemble the crane. I know it sounds silly, but you need the crane to assemble the crane. You fucking what? Get a crane in to assemble this crane. What are you going to do when that new crane you've got to assemble this crane comes in, also on the back of a lorry disassembled, because that's the only way they can get it to you? What happens then?
The only thing I can think of is that if you want a crane built, you've got to build it next to a crane that already exists, so that crane can build this new crane. Do you know what I mean?
Also, stay with me here. How would you go about taking down something as tall as a crane? You'd need another crane, wouldn't you? You would.
If you've got two cranes together, let's take these two here. So you've got crane A and crane B, and that's a bus. You could take down crane A with crane B. Fine, no problem. But then you're left with crane B on its own. Then you have to use crane B to build a new crane over here, crane C, to then use that to take down crane B. But then you'd still be left with crane C. And how are you going to get that down? You'd have to bulldoze it or rig up with explosives like a block of flats.
That's why there's so many cranes about. They can't physically take them all down. That's why they keep building stuff. Have you noticed all these student flats popping up?
Student flats, that's what these will be. All them student flats. I bet my house on it. Even though they probably built another fresh block of student flats about 100 metres that way, and the week before that they probably turned two of the old factories and a mill into student flats. Town hall, that'll be student flats as soon as you get planning permission. Give it a fortnight.
Where are all these students going to come from? They're just building stuff so they have an excuse to keep the cranes up and make the cranes look busy. Like, if everyone cottoned on that them cranes aren't being used there, they'd be like, well, why are they still up? Let's get them down. And then like, fucking hell, we can't get them down. So next time you're walking around and you see a big building being built and you look up at it and you think, yeah, I'm not sure that's necessary. Like, I'm not sure we need this building. Just know that, we don't need that building. And the people building it know we don't need it as well. They've got to keep the cranes busy because they're not coming down.